Good morning and welcome back to the Faith in Formation podcast, your home for devotional thought from a Bible verse every weekday morning. And it is Tuesday, March 31st. Hey, it's the last day of March already. 2026 is marching, there's that pun again, right along through. And we're already on month number 4. A huge thank you and shout out to all of you listeners for joining us here this morning and for continuing to be a faithful listener to the podcast. Your support means a lot. It is March 31st, and we are jumping into a new book. We finished 2 Timothy, and now we're going right into Titus. Clicking right along here, we're in Titus chapter 1 this morning. Have a great thought for you, so stick around for that. But before we hit that, let's go to our memory verse of the week, and that comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 17. It says there, "Now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty." A great verse to commit to memory and work on that this week. All right, the title of our devotional this morning is Pure Connotation. Pure Connotation. It comes from Titus chapter 1 and verse 15. This is an awesome thought and one that I really, really appreciate, and I'm glad that we get to talk about this one. I think it's a big one, especially for our modern day. So let's take a look at the verse here and see what it has for us. Titus chapter 1 and verse 15, it says there, "Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled." What a thought. This world, I feel like more and more and more is full of lingo and language that is so base and debauched and defiled, as the word the Bible used. And I feel like you can't even say normal sentences and talk anymore without mentioning some innuendo or some reference to something that is just evil. That's just wicked. And, sometimes teachers are teaching or conversations are happening and they're just saying normal words. They're saying they're going about normal conversation and they can't even say a few phrases in a row without hitting something that has this alternate meaning, means something else, and it's some kind of innuendo or reference to something, and it's too much to keep up with and to keep track of. And really, I think it boils down to this verse, as it says there, "Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled." We live in a sick world. We really do. We live in a sick world, and they want to make everything turn dirty. It almost feels like the days of Noah, right? When all the thoughts of their hearts were only evil continually. Sometimes it feels like that. And it's like, could you not just leave some language pure and clean? Could you not just leave all these common phrases that we use without having these double meanings? Sometimes it gets frustrating and annoying. And I just wish it could be like that. And it comes down to this. If you're pure of heart and pure of mind, you'll be able to say all those things and not have a second thought about them. And then all those around that are more defiled and don't have that pure thought in life will see those phrases in conversation as something evil, And so we want to have that word connotation is what we are looking at here in the title. We want to have a pure connotation. In other words, the meanings behind the word, the feel of the words as we say them are pure because it's just normal conversation. Whereas if you're all up on the modern double meanings, innuendos, references, whatever it is, then all these normal phrases that perhaps a pure soul is saying will mean something else to you. So really what this is a look at what's influencing our lives. What is making you aware of all of those double meanings? What's educating you on those things? If we are living a pure life, right, as the verse says there, unto the pure all things are pure. What does it mean to be pure? Well, it means to limit your influence to those things that are holy and clean. What's influencing you? What's giving you that knowledge, that that education, you might say, of those unpure, unholy connotations. It's good to take a look at that. What's influencing it? I think largely these influences are coming from our devices, right? Computers, laptops, phones, TVs. All of these things are influencing us, I think, perhaps in this negative way and showing us the twisted, evil meanings of phrases and uh, references that we say. So, do you find yourself catching yourself thinking of the double meanings and the references in people's conversation, and perhaps you chuckle and laugh at it, right? You don't necessarily say anything, but you know what they're talking about. Be careful of that. And if that is happening to you, you need to narrow down and find where's the source of that. Where am I learning this type of thing? And shut that down. Close it up. Throw it away. Whatever it is that is showing you these things and educating you in those ways, put that away. It says in this verse, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Nothing is pure anymore. Everything gets turned and perverted. The verse says, even their mind and conscience is defiled. Through and through in every area, they are defiled. Don't be one of those people. Cut off all that influence that's giving you those impure meanings and references. Cut that off. And if you're a little bit of ignorance, if you're a little bit ignorant to the world's lingo and to their references and innuendos, honestly, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You ought not to be worldly wise, right? Limit all of that stuff. So the question this morning is, am I always finding those double meanings in normal conversation? If I am, then what do I need to cut out so that I don't realize those anymore? So I don't think about those anymore and I can continue on in a pure and holy manner. All right, what a great verse, Titus chapter 1 and verse 15. I hope it was a blessing to you. And I hope it was a challenge to you as it was to me as well. Well, as you go to prayer this morning, here's a challenge for you. Pray for your missionaries today, for those that you remember, that your church supports. Pray for them and all their specific needs and prayer requests and desires. Pray for those, that they would see those fulfilled. And then for our teenagers, we want to pray specifically for Abigail this morning. All right, well, that's all for the Faith and Formation podcast this morning. Thanks again for jumping on and being a part. I hope it was a blessing and a challenge to you. I know it was to me, and I trust it will be for you as well. Thanks again to you all, and we'll see you next time.